we've talked about this before, but I think this is a great topic for people that maybe your New Year's resolution is to buy a home in 2017, or someone, maybe your child, relative, brother, sister, aunt, uncle. If you know someone that is thinking about buying a home in 2017, qualifying for a mortgage is the biggest factor. And there are three big reasons why people don't qualify for a mortgage, and I want to cover them today. The first one is, your debt-to-income ratio test. So the debt-to-income ratio measures how much money you're getting in income versus how much money you have to send out in debt, how much money you owe people. This is an often overlooked thing because people don't understand how much of their income is allowed to be counted. If you're self-employed, in any capacity, if you own your own business, if you're a salesperson, if your income is commission-based, there's certain rules that go into play with how long you have to be in those positions and how long your income can be counted for, how much of it can be counted. So it's really, really important. If you make a lot of money but you write a lot of it off, you might think, oh, I can go out and I can afford a $500,000 house, and then find out you can only qualify for $300,000 because you write off a lot with your tax situation. So it's something really, really important to do before you ever even look at a home. Get your taxes, get with a mortgage professional, get the copies of your taxes, especially if you're one of those people that has been self-employed, commission-based, or own your own business. It's really, really important. I think it's important for anyone to have the mortgage person not just run your credit, but check your income and do a debt-to-income verification. Issues over credit histories and scores. That's something, that's the second item, and it's something that also goes overlooked. We have it happen all the time where people think their credit is perfect, they've paid everything on time, and then find out that there's a mistake, or they missed a payment, or there's a collection, or a medical thing that's on their credit history. Know your credit score, know your history, have it pulled before you ever even look at a home. So talk to a mortgage professional, have them pull your credit, have them look at your income, and have them qualify you, not just based on what you tell them, but based on the facts. Because you may think your income is 100, but then when your accountant gets hold of it, it's 50 or 70 or 80. And it's really, really important to get the actual number that you're able to substantiate with fact. Mortgages today are very detail-oriented. They go through a long process to ensure that you really make what you say you make, and you have what you say you have. So you're going to have to prove everything. And if you say that you make more than you actually do, it could cause you to lose out on the home that you want. It's better to know that all up front. We see it happen all the time where somebody loses their dream home, probably because they didn't follow the right steps. They went out, found the home, went under contract, then started the mortgage process, and then found out that their bubble has burst, that they can't buy the home because there were some things they needed to take care of ahead of time, some planning they needed to do with their mortgage person and their tax person to make sure everything was able to get them qualified. So that is certainly a really important thing. And then the third one are property valuation problems. Again, this goes back to the appraisal scenario. So the third reason mortgages fall apart is you buy a home for $200 and the appraisal comes back at $190. The seller won't budge. The deal falls apart. One important thing to consider here is that an appraisal is still just one person's opinion. One lender can have an appraiser that says it's worth $180, and another one could say $200. They're looking at the same facts, but they're interpreting them differently. Maybe they have a different opinion of the upgrades, or how much value the land is, or they look at different comparables. But again, the home has to appraise at or above your purchase price. It's a protection the buyer has to prevent them from overpaying for a home, and to prevent the mortgage companies from over-lending on a home and getting stuck in a foreclosure situation, which is probably more about them than it is about you, but it is a protection that the buyer has. So that's always something to keep in mind. I can't tell you how many times we've seen buyers go out and buy furniture, appliances, and they're preparing to move in, and the appraisal hadn't been done yet. Then, oops, appraisal comes in short, the deal falls apart, and they made some mistakes. So one other important note before we run to our break for our last segment: if you're in the process of buying a home, don't establish any other credit. Don't go buy a car. Don't get a credit card. Don't go get furniture. Keep your credit exactly the same as it was when you initially qualified. That's another big no-no that can cause you to get your mortgage declined